शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। कठोपनिषद अध्याय 1 वल्ली 2 मंत्र 19। हन्ता चेन्मन्यते हन्तुम् हतश्चेन्मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतः नायं हन्ति न हन्यते। We will go through the Bhāshya. एवं भूतम् अपि आत्मानं शरीरमात्रात्मदृष्टिः हन्ता चेत् यदि मन्यते चिन्तयति हन्तुं हनिष्यामि एनम् इति यः अपि अन्यः हतः सोऽपि चेन्मन्यते हतम् आत्मानं हतः अहम् इति उभावपि तौ न विजानीतः स्वम् आत्मानं यतः नायं हन्ति अविक्रियत्वादात्मनः तथा न हन्यते आकाशवत् अविक्रियत्वादेव अतः अनात्मज्ञविषयः एव धर्माधर्मादिलक्षणः संसारः न ब्रह्मज्ञस्य श्रुतिप्रामाण्यात् न्यायाच्च धर्माधर्माद्यनुपपत्तेः एवं भूतम् अपि आत्मानं api, even though the Atma is evam bhuta, Atma has this nature, referring to previous mantra, na jayate ityadi, free from vikara, avikriyaha atma, avikriyam api atmanam, even though the Atma is avikriyaha, yet shariramaatratma drishtihi. This verse is about a shariramaatratma drishtihi. Shariramatre atma drishtihi yasya saha shariramaatratma drishtihi. One who looks upon the body alone as the self is called shariramaatratma drishtihi. The person is called shariramaatratma drishtihi. This is the power of bahuvrihi samasa. The compound refers to a person who has that kind of an understanding. Body is Atma. There is nothing beyond the body. Means a dehatma buddhi, dehatmavadi ityartha. One who thinks Deha is Atma. He may be a laukika, an ordinary person in the world who has never done any philosophical inquiry. Or he may be a philosopher also, like a charvaka. He is dehatmavadi. And he is hanta. He is a killer because he is about to do the action of killing. Chet. Chet is equal to yadi, if. Manyate is equal to chintayati, thinks. What does he think? Hantum. Hantum manyate. Tumun. Tumun has a sense of future. Therefore, Bhāshyakara interprets it as Hanishyami. I will kill. Hanishyami enam iti. I will kill him. Iti manyate. He thinks so. I am going to kill. He thinks so. Implying he thinks he is the doer of the action of killing. He is the agent of the action of killing. Hananakriyayaha kartaram manyate ityartha. He considers himself as the doer of the action of killing. And then there is another person in front of him who is getting killed. Yaha api anyaha. Yaha anyaha. Another person. Saha api, even he. Chen manyate, chet is equal to yadi, if he thinks. Hatam atmanam manyate, I am killed. Hataha aham iti, aham hataha iti, atmanam hatam manyate, I am killed iti. So hataschen manyate hatam. There the anvaya is aham hataha iti, atmanam hatam manyate chet. Aham hataha is within quote, I am killed. In this manner, if he thinks, I am killed, he thinks himself to be an object of the action of killing. Hananakriyayaha karmabhutam atmanam manyate. He thinks he is the karma, object of the action of killing. Ubhau apitau na vijanitaha. Both of them do not know. Means both of them are ajnanis, avivekinaha ityartha. Both of them are ajnanis. What they don't know? Swam atmanam na vijanitaha. They don't know the Atma. What makes them ajnanis? Why the Shruti calls them ajnanis? Because they don't know the truth of the Atma. Yataha, because nayam hanti, ayam Atma na hanti. This Atma does not kill. It does not become the agent of the action of killing, implying it is not the agent of any action. Why? Avikriyatvadatmanaha. Because the Atma is avikriyaha, free from all modifications. Therefore, Atma does not become karta, kartrutva rahita, free from kartrutva. Tatha, likewise, na hanyate, Atma does not even get killed. Avikriyatvadeva, the same reason. Avikriyatvadeva, because of the same reason, avikriyatvat, Atma does not become the object of the action of killing, implying Atma doesn't become bhokta also. Every transaction involves give and take. Sometimes we are at the giving end, sometimes we are at the receiving end in every transaction. When we are giving, then we are the karta. And when we are at the receiving end, we are the bhokta. And sometimes we receive. Someone hurts, intentionally or unintentionally. People get hurt. I am hurt. mostly in this atmosphere, it can happen verbally, if not physically. Verbal injury, that is hananam, it is himsa. Vachika himsa happens most often. The words hurt, sometimes more than a punch, more than the weapons. The words can hurt. Therefore, one has to be careful while using one's words. Ahimsa is a very important value for a mumukshu. In many places of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan talks about ahimsa. Ahimsa kshantirarjavam. Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam. Chapter 13. Likewise in many other places also. Ahimsa satyam akrodhaha tyagashantirapaishunam. So many places Bhagavan talks about ahimsa. And the ahimsa at the verbal level also is beautifully described in Bhagavad Gita. How one's speech should be. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitanchayat. Anudvegakaram vakyam. The words should not excite others, should not disturb others. Polite words. It is called anudvegakaram vakyam. Who says? Not Swami. Krishna is saying. Therefore, any Krishna Bhakta, not only Krishna Bhakta, any mumukshu, not to speak exciting words, not to speak words that disturb others. Anudvegakaram vakyam. Satyam, truthful. Even for fun, one is not supposed to speak untruth. Priyahitam, it should be priya. The others should like it. Pleasant and hitam, beneficial to others. If I speak any word, is it beneficial? Is it serve any purpose? Or am I just speaking to spread a gossip? Before speaking, we should think. One should speak deliberately. That is a vachika tapas. In fact, Krishna does not talk about maunam as vachika tapas. Mauna is a manasa tapas. Mauna should be in the mind. When he describes the three forms of tapas, Kayika tapas, Devad Vijaguru Prajna Pujanam Shaucha Marjavam, Brahmacharyam Ahimsa Cha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. Then comes Vachika tapas. Sharira tapas are the physical tapas. What are the physical tapas? Deva Pujanam, worshipping devatas, going to the temple is Sharira tapas. Yeah, it is also told in Bhagavad Gita. We are not saying just like that, just to increase the number in the temple, not so. It is told in Bhagavad Gita, Deva Pujanam, Guru Pujanam, and respecting all the elders, all the learned ones, all sannyasis. So it is told. Shaucham, cleanliness, Arjavam, simplicity and straightness, uprightness, Brahmacharya, and Ahimsa. Once again he has mentioned Ahimsa. See, so many places where Ahimsa is mentioned, physical violence. Shariram tapa uchyate. Then he talks about manasa tapas also. Then vachika tapas. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate. So vangmaya tapas, vachika tapas. Speaking properly, not complaining too much about others, not not scolding others, not shouting at others, being pleasant. It is also mentioned. And then manasa tapas, manah prasada saumyatvam, maunam atma vinigraha. See, maunam is mentioned as manasa tapas. Mentally there has to be mauna. The mind should be free from complaining, etc. And the mind should be made free from the need for the urge to interact with others. The mind has an urge to interact with others without any purpose. That should be made, one should be free from that. Let me not speak unnecessarily. That is where the manasa tapas, mauna, comes into picture. That is why just writing a board and doing mauna will not serve a great purpose. I am not in favor of that. You write a board and say, today I am in mauna. Tomorrow this person will speak a lot. It does not really bring about manasa tapas. The mental mauna, it may not bring bring about. That is why during the interaction, during the transactions, we should practice mauna also. So both vachika tapas as well as manasa tapas should be developed simultaneously. When I am speaking, let me think, is it worth telling? Or am I just speaking out of my urge to speak? If it is not worth speaking, I am just speaking to satisfy my impulse, my impulsive desires to utter some word, to bluff something, then let me keep quiet. But if it is useful, let me speak. But when I speak, let me put it in such a way that the other person does not get disturbed. That is why in another place, Bhagavan describes a jnani, yasman no dvijate loko lokan no dvijate chayaha. One who does not disturb the other people and one who does not get disturbed by others also. He does not disturb the others and he does not get disturbed by the others. That is one of the characteristics of a jnani, a Jivan Mukta. In chapter 12, Bhagavan describes. Therefore, Atma is avikriyaha. The avikriya Atma neither becomes the karta nor the bhokta. To understand that, one should follow all the disciplines, inculcate all the values, all the qualities that are desirable in a jnani. So, avikriyatvadeva, and Bhāshyakara gives an example for avikriya. In this world, you cannot find anything that is really avikriya. But then there is one thing which is somewhat avikriya. That is Akasha. Akashavadeva. He gives the example of Akasha. According to some other philosophers, Akasha is avikriya. Like Naiyayikas. For Naiyayikas, Akasha is Nitya. But for Vedanti, Akasha is not Nitya. Because even Akasha has birth, तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन आकाशः सम्भूतः. Even Akasha has birth. And if it has birth, it cannot be avikriyaha. Therefore, this example is not from the standpoint of Vedanta. It is from the standpoint of Loka Prasiddhi. In the world, people understand Akasha as avikriya. Or we have to understand that it is given from the standpoint of a Nayyayika, another philosopher. This student is a Nayyayika because he has already studied Tarka Sangraha, one text of Nyaya Shastra. If you go there to Kailasa Ashram, they will teach you Tarka Sangraha before coming to Kathopanishad. Then he has studied Akasha is Nitya. So for that person, Kathopanishad says, Bhāshyakara says, Akashavat avikriyaha. But later on, even he has to understand, even Akasha is savikriya, not avikriyaha. Ataha, therefore means since karma, kartrutva and bhoktrutva, kartrutva as well as bhoktrutva are in the domain of ajnana. Therefore, karma is possible only when there is ajnana. Because of that reason, anatmajna vishayaha eva dharma dharma lakshanaha samsaraha. Samsara belongs to anatmajnaha. Anatmajna vishayaha eva, belonging to anatma, falling in the domain of anatma, related to anatma. What? Dharma dharmadi lakshanaha samsaraha. Samsara, which is characterized by dharma, adharma, etc. Dharma and adharma, both are possible only when there is kartrutva and bhoktrutva. When I am the doer, I can do dharma or adharma. Sometimes I may do dharma and earn the phala of dharma in the form of punya. And sometimes I may do adharma and receive the phala of adharma in the form of papa. So when there is kartrutva, I can do dharma and I can receive the result of dharma only when there is bhoktrutva. And dharma, adharma, etc. Dharma, adharma, etc. means its phala, its result, sukha, dukkha, janma, marana, etc. Adi, there is adi. Dharma, adharma, adi lakshanaha samsaraha. Samsara characterized by dharma, adharma, etc. belongs to an ajnani. is possible only for an ajnani. Na brahmajnasya. A brahmajnani cannot have samsara. Samsara is not possible for a brahmajnani. Somewhere Shankaracharya says, sa nechannapi muchyate. He is free even if he does not like to be free. Dehatma pratyayo yadvat dehatma jnana badhakaha atmanyeva bhavedyasya sa nechannapi muchyate. Just like an ajnani identifies himself with the body, aham dehaha, aham karta, aham bhokta. This is the understanding of an ajnani. And this understanding does not need any effort. It is effortlessly, spontaneously available to everyone. Like our name. All of us know our name. This name, it was introduced to us when we were born. After some months, the name was introduced. You are Mr. So and so. Your name is such and such. Then we started identifying with the name. When the baby is born, the baby is nameless. We didn't have a name when we were born. Then the name was introduced. They kept the name, the parents. And then it was introduced to us. You are whatever it is. You are Devadatta. Then we got identification with the name slowly. In a few months, at the age of 2 or 3, we got identified with the name. Then afterwards, now, at the age of 65, if someone asks me or you, whoever, what is your name? You don't have to look into your mobile phone. Let me check my name and tell you. You don't look into your mobile phone. The name is spontaneously available in our mind. Because the name identity is ingrained into us. We have assimilated the name identity. It is spontaneously available. When you are traveling by train at night, this happens. The TT comes and he wakes up and he asks, what is your name? That is where I had to remember my name. When I was traveling, I was sleeping in the berth, and this person in the at night he will come and nudge me and ask my name. Sometimes it may change. In my case, it changed. Then initially you are not identified, you have not really, you are not used to the new name. So, the name identity is spontaneously available. I am man, I am woman, even this identity is spontaneously available. So, all the identity associated with our body, associated with our Nama Rupa, the Nama Rupa identity is spontaneously available to us. Even at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., if someone asks, we are able to say. With the same spontaneity, with the same effortlessness, if one is able to say, I am Brahman, I am not the body, I am not the doer, I am not the enjoyer, I am the avikriya Atma. Ekameva advitiyam Brahma. If one is able to say with the same effortlessness, with the same spontaneity, then Atmanyeva bhavedyasya saha nechannapi muchyate. He is free even if he does not want to be free. That is what we have to accomplish. Assimilation of the jnana. I am Brahman. I am not the body. The jnana has to sink in. Make it sink in. Soak yourself in the knowledge. That is what we are doing. That is why with every line, in every line, the same vision is conveyed. There is no new topic in Vedanta. For all 2 years, you will hear the same thing, conveyed in different ways, so that it gives better clarity. So, na brahmajnasya, a brahmajnani does not have samsara. He is free from samsara because he is free from kartrutva and bhoktrutva. And how do you know that a jnani does not have samsara? Even this Shrutivakya can imply. By implication, we can understand even from this statement that a jnani does not have samsara. Then there are direct Shrutivakyas. Matvadhiro harshashokau jahati. We have seen already. What is the number? Matvadhiro harshashokau jahati. before Anyatra Dharmat. 12. See. Matvadhiro harshashokau jahati. Means a jnani does not have samsara. Kathopanishad also says. Likewise, there are many other Shruti Vakyas. Tarati Shokam Atmavit Chandogyopanishad. Atmavit Shokam Tarati. Atmavit, Atmajnani is free from Shoka, sorrow. So there are many Shruti Pramanas in favor of the absence of samsara, samsara nivritti of an Atmajnani. And Nyayacha, in support of the Shruti Vakya, we have logic also. We have Nyaya also, supporting logic. Yukti. What is the yukti? Dharma dharmadhyanupapattehe. Atma cannot have dharma and adharma, because Atma is avikriyaha. Therefore, an Atmajnani also cannot have dharma and adharma, because a Jnani is not different from the Atma. That is the logic. Dharma dharma dhyanupapattehe. Since a Jnani does not have dharma, adharma, etc., samsara is not possible. Katham punaha atmanam janati iti uchyate. Punaha katham atmanam janati. Punaha, once again. Already some sadhanas are mentioned that lead to Atmajnana. Now once again, some other additional sadhanas that are required to understand Atma, to get the knowledge of Atma. Katham, how? Atmanam janati, one knows the Atma. Iti. This is a question connecting to following mantra. So, while talking about the sadhana, the sadhanas that Yama is talking about now are freedom from desires. Freedom from desires. Akamayitritva. Freedom from desires. Akamatva, not akamayitritva, akamatva. That is one sadhana. To understand the Atma, one has to be free from desires. Means one should cultivate vairagya. And another sadhana is dhatu prasada. Indriya prasada. Means all the senses should become calm and composed. The mind, mainly the sense is mind. The mind should remain composed. A disturbed mind, an agitated mind cannot focus on the Atmajnana. Study is not possible. Shravana is not possible when the mind is complaining. He is doing this, she is doing this. If complaining is going on, then the mind cannot get focus. That is why in many places when people come to study Vedanta, there are problems. We end up having problem with from innumerable quarters. The neighbor problem. Neighbors create problem. Someone moves a little this side and that side. So many issues keep coming. Whether they intend or not, we perceive some problem. Problem is mainly perception. And then time spent in complaining, and sorting out the problems, the issues. Then the studies cannot happen. Shravana does not happen. Therefore, for effective Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana, the mind should be composed. Irrespective of whatever happens, what happens outside. One should learn to remain composed up to a certain extent. That is when one can focus on studies. So that is another sadhana given. So here and there you find many sadhanas prescribed for effective pursuit of Atmajnana. Somewhere Viveka is mentioned, somewhere Vairagya is mentioned, and here also Vairagya, Akamatva, and Indriya Prasada. So all these are mentioned in various places, and we can pick them and put them together. Then if it is put them together in a proper way, it becomes sadhana chatushtaya, etc. It's a systematic way of putting, but the Shruti is not very systematic. So it is apaurusheya. So it is not very systematically, it is like this is A, this is B. You won't find it well structured. When man creates something, he creates a structure and all. But when Ishvara creates, he does not create in a square. Everything is not square with the Ishvara. Ishvara creates everything round, round, round. That is why all planets are round. Why the planets are not square? Because it is Ishvara Srishti. So all mountains are somewhere mountain here and there. So just like nature. And it has its own beauty. It is beauty. We may complain about it. Why Ishvara has not created everything flat? Had everything been one flat earth, there wouldn't have been any beauty. That is why there are mountains, there is river, then there is beauty. It is all vibhuti. Likewise, the Shruti also is not square, A, B, C, D, structured, not so. It has its own beauty, and we should learn how to enjoy the beauty. That is when we are in tune with the Shruti, when we know how to enjoy the beauty of the Shastra. The very fact that it is not very systematic, A, B, C, D, is a proof that it is not Paurusheya. It can be one of the arguments. It is not a proof, it is one of the arguments that we can put forward. So, Uchyate, so another some more sadhana is being mentioned. And while mentioning some more sadhana, Yama does not give up the opportunity to give some more descriptions of the Atma. So we will see the mantra in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.